The second vintage that we've released for the world is the 1968. Now, we first started this with the 1964 and the 68, and I suppose a lot of people who look at it from the outside could say, oh, but it's basically the same whiskey. But actually, you know what? The whiskies are completely different. As I said with the 1964, basically the wind didn't blow, so you ended up with a big smoky whiskey. Well, in 1968, the winds were really blowing, and that took the smoke from the barley itself, so you ended up with a very lightly smoked whiskey. 1968 is made with a mixture of 8 casks, 7 of them being hoggies, 1 being a sherry butt. They're all refill sherry casks, and for the same reason as our 30 and 40-year-old don't have any first fill sherry casks in it. Same with the 64 and 68, that if you did, the sweetness of the cask would just overpower the whiskey. It would completely hide the smoke, therefore it would be out of balance, which means you wouldn't make Highland Park. So we use refill casks at old age like this, because you can get the balance between the smokiness and the peat. Now, to start with, colour-wise, yep, it's a lot lighter than the 1964, a lot lighter. And when you turn it 45 degrees and spin it all the way round, the tears and legs take, again, a wonderfully long time to appear. That's the maturity really kicking in, and the oiliness of the character of the whiskey in there. Now it's beginning to appear, and they're a bit smaller. That would give me a hint that it would be over 45%, and it is. It's actually 45.6% alcohol. But when you smell this, the smoke does not jump straight up your nose like the 64 does. It's very subtle. Very difficult to pick it up in the nose. What you end up getting is there's definitely a lot more coconuts, lemon and lime, more guava, pineapple, that sort of fresh fruit type of smell. But there's a lot more to it. The 64 for me is fantastic because it just does something so unique in our history. It bangs you with that smoke, and that sweetness is in balance. The 68 for me is all about subtlety. There's so many different things going on, so many different layers, so many different flavours. It's kind of hard to know where to start. But I know where I'm going to finish. Cheers. Like a fantastic old French wine, you just get subtlety of flavour. Very gentle, but it just keeps moving and moving and moving. It's a completely different beast than the 64. Very elegant, very sweet, very sweet. Yeah, it's hard to pick my favourite between the 64 and 68. I think most people will probably find the 64 the one for them, because that's a big smoky whiskey with that nice big sweet kick. However, I think the 68 just does it for me, and it's the subtlety of flavour, I think, just wins the day.